Hi, hello, beautiful. A really warm welcome to a new episode of Living Life from Love. And today I want to talk about one of the things that we need to do in order to live life from love is to actually be present with any uncomfortable emotional upsets or pains or hurts or fears that come up. So this is a very important topic, and this is the main topic I really talk about, because I am here to help you to actually deal with the emotional upset or fear, and then connect with it, talk to it, and then dissolve it. So today I want to share with you how I do that with myself. I guess you all have had that when you feel maybe you have a lack of motivation, maybe you feel nothing is really working out for you, you've tried so much and still no success. And maybe you feel regularly upset about what's happening in your relationship. Maybe you have arguments, the same pain button or the same triggers come up for you. You might feel rejected or not heard. You might feel not valid. You might feel your emotions aren't valid, or you might have in general a pattern where you haven't actually attracted the relationship that you want to have, or you feel, as you are a beginning entrepreneur, maybe you feel there's a lack of self-trust, confidence, and maybe some doubt in you. So all of these scenarios, they are all there for a reason. They don't just come up, for no reason. There's always a reason, and it's a good reason. And the reason that's underneath the surface level that you are experiencing, like the story or the scenario, the trigger, the argument, the lack of motivation or love or appreciation, underneath all of that is an old unresolved scenario, event, usually from your childhood or even from a past life. And today I want to share with you what I've done when something like that came up. So maybe it's about a week ago now, I've had this lack of motivation. I've had this on and off for the last few months. It's getting better and better as I'm working on myself continuously, and I'm always dealing with beliefs that come up when they come up. And so today I want to share with you what I've done. So there was a kind of a lack of motivation, a bit of lack of confidence, not really believing or validating or valuing my work. I think that was the main issue. I wasn't valuing it. My unconscious mind would say, oh, well, nobody wants it. This is no good. Nothing special here. Why do you do that? Just whatever. And I just don't want that anymore. I wanted to connect with that feeling. And so I just sat down. I gave myself half an hour or something like that. And then I tuned into the kind of low vibrational feeling. And, I closed my eyes. Obviously, I was centering myself in my heart. I was present in this moment and really tuning into my emotions or, low vibration. And I had the intention to go right to the core of it. So I wanted to connect with the root cause. And by doing that, a picture appeared, and I found myself in a medieval time. I was in a room where the ceiling was very low, and there were all these beams around, the ceilings, like they have in medieval times. I was aware of a cauldron being there, really a typical cauldron, and I was wearing some ropes, and I was a man. I knew I had to perform something like an alchemical process. I had to create something for someone else, another man who had some status, who was maybe a mayor of the town, something, quite, in those times, was quite significant status. And he had commissioned me, sort of thing, to do something that I felt I wasn't quite ready to do. And I said, okay, I'm asked to do this. So I put my trust in God that because I was asked to do this, I trusted. But the situation where I was in my vision was I had done this and it failed. So there was this, oh God, I knew it. I shouldn't have done it. And I knew I would be seized by the guards, and I would be taken away probably to prison. And I felt I had this insight that why is this happening? I trusted in God, and now what do? I felt I was at a dead end. I trusted in God, and that failed. And I thought, what am I going to do now? Where can I go with this? And then I remembered that I have to ask if this is true, if this is actually a truthful belief that I trusted in God and I failed. Is that really the truth? Because, I can't really believe that in my conscious awareness for my higher self. I can't believe that. So I know I have to remember that I am truth, I am love, and I am light. And so in this situation, I am truth. I had to call on that. So I asked the question, how come, this happened? How come I trusted and then the outcome was like a failure? And I remembered that my conscious self, my little me didn't have the answers. And so I elevated myself up to the level of the soul in order to get the answers. And I sort of saw myself just hovering up to the realm of my soul, going out, through my crown chakra, going up to the higher levels, and then connecting with my soul, being in the realm of my soul, and asking that question. And then I got the bigger picture. And it was just like a knowing, and I saw that we were both brothers, kind of like on a soul family level, and that I was there to help him to realize that it's not about material things in life, because he wanted to have more material things. He was always on about that. The more gold he could have, the better. And I was the instrument to show him that is not going to give him happiness, fulfillment, and he's not going to grow from having that pursuit. And so, I was offering myself before we came into this life to be an instrument, a conduit for that experience, for him to have that. And when I realized that, I said, oh, wow, oh, great, oh, thank God. Thank God I wasn't abandoned by God, basically. I had this big relief, and I was so happy to be the instrument, even though it was kind of detrimental for the end of my life. And because I actually believe I spent the rest of my life in a dungeon. But to have that insight changed everything. It was a big relief, and I could go on to trusting in God. I realized how much I've actually not trusted in God underneath everything. I wasn't aware of it because I have a huge amount of faith, but I also realized that my trust wasn't maybe always there, and that was why. And so, I with that insight, I went back from the realm of my soul. I went back through my crown chakra, went back into the body of the man I was in the medieval times, and I absorbed that knowledge. And then, I let that happen, and then I took my past life self with me, and I went back into this life, into this body, and integrating that past life within my heart. And so that finished that story. I did not have to repeat that anymore. And I realized afterwards, the next day and the next few days, I felt more confident. I felt like a new wind in my sail. There was more soul light coming through, and I was really more enthusiastic about doing lives, posting in my group, and just really delivering my content. And it's been, since then, it's been rising. It's been more and more and more. And And I feel so much more enthusiastic and passionate about it all now. And I feel my soul is with me more. It feels beautiful. You know, there was a part of me that was cutting himself off from the divine. And therefore I couldn't receive all the guidance or the insights that I needed. So that was so beautiful, so powerful, also very subtle. And you know, I work like this with my clients. I've had a session again 2 days ago, and I was doing a very similar process with my client who wanted to let go of guilt and forgive her mom. Because she had a dad who was at times very unpredictable. He had huge anger, and when that came out, when that was triggered, nobody was safe, you know. And well, she was the only one who was safe because there was a love between the two, the father and the daughter. But she didn't like it the way he was sometimes abusing her mom and brother, and she felt guilty that she couldn't protect them. She felt she needed to help them. And we did the same process, and she went up to the realm of the soul, and she had this amazing insight that her mom was all the time unconditionally loving her husband, who was actually her soulmate. And she, as the daughter, wanted that the mom would not put up with this. She begged her to leave him. But she was only looking from her ego self, and she couldn't understand her mom. While she was on the soul level, she could see that her mom was coming from unconditional love, and she would never leave this man, and she would never abandon her family or split up the family. And sometimes this husband was demanding, you know, that she would love him and not her son. And no, she would not do that either. She would not bow to the ego's demands of her family. And she stood strong in her own unconditional love for everybody. Wow, and that was such an insight. She immediately let go of all, you know, the resentment that she had towards her mom, that her mom wasn't protecting her as a child. And she could see totally where she was coming from, and all grief and you know, of all, you know, she could have had such a nice childhood, she thought, if her dad wasn't like this, if her dad wasn't around and all of that. And it was an instant healing. And she felt like, wow. It was so beautiful. There was so much love there. And that actually opened her own heart to love from, you know, her heart, and sent out love to her own husband and to her daughter and to her parents and all of the family. And she felt just like, wow, you know, she was bathed in this unconditional love. So this is a process that I'm going to take my group, those in my group who are signing up for my free healing workshop tomorrow at 5 p.m. German time. And so if you're listening to this today or tomorrow, and you know, if you want to take part of this, please sign up to my Facebook group. I will leave the link underneath the video. If you want to experience this for yourself, please do. And if you watch this later on, you can always join my Facebook group and be part of this, because I will always offer the way I work with you. I will offer how you can work one-to-one with me, or I might offer a group healing, 4-week group healing class as well. So, you know, do sign up to my Facebook group, come and join us there. And or also, please leave me a like here if this was helpful. Comment on, maybe you want to share your issues, maybe you've got something that you like to share and you like to have my advice on that. Please do subscribe to my channel, and I'd love to connect with you more, either here or in my Facebook group. Okay, I hope it helped you. Let me know. And I look forward to being with you again in my next video. Bye for now. Much love.